rainy day here in the garage, and a lot of questions that I get are in regards to the mounts that I use and where I mount them. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of exactly that. What mounts do I use and where do I mount them? GoPro makes its own mounts. I use pretty much only GoPro cameras. I've had a lot of luck with them. And there's a lot of, I know them inside and out. So a lot of these, again, these are mounts I think are universal depending on the attachment. But this is mostly a GoPro mount friendly video, just to give you a heads up ahead of time. My recommendation is RAM. So I use RAM mounts quite a bit. I used to have basically they were the C-clamp mounts that you had to use a ratchet set. You tighten them down. The nice part is that they didn't go anywhere. Very, very secure. The negative part is that they are a giant pain in the ass to move. So if you're going to switch up angles or do any of that, it's really, really hard to use. So RAM, thankfully, has come out with this clamp, the C-clamp. So I use these, or the claw. I think they call it the RAM claw. And I use these almost exclusively because they're super easy to move around the bike. They just twist on and off. They are, especially in a kind of like a mid-size diameter of the bar. They do have bigger clamps as well if you're doing like UTV stuff. But for motorcycles, this clamp basically fits everything, which is great. So you can move it from the handlebar to the highway bars, either front or back, or even onto your luggage rack or something like that. So I will say that the only other, and it also kind of depends on what kind of bike you have. So I've got a Road Glide Special here. And as you can see, this is the one that I do have attached to my bars. So the kit comes complete. It just bolts right into kind of the whole housing here. And so this thing is on here all the time. And then I have an extension. So I have two of the RAM long arms. And then up here, I have the GoPro pivot mount. And again, I use these pivot mounts a ton because they just give you more freedom. They don't blow around. I have not had a problem where, the GoPro is shaking or spinning depending on the wind. So, I can be here filming backwards, and then just take it, spin it around, and film forwards or film sideways, whatever you want to do. It just makes it super easy to adjust. And again, one thing I would advise, personally, I think videos get a little bit boring if it's just POV. You're just looking ahead. And so it's nice to have some both front and back and a bunch of different angles. That just helps keep your videos fresh and interesting, in my opinion. So this will give you the option to do both of those if you want, but this is mostly set up for kind of basically a selfie stick that's mounted to your handlebars. I would advise trying this, particularly if you have a street glide. Street glides are very difficult because the fairing is close to the handlebars, so they're a little bit more difficult to find a place to use that claw. There's just not as much bar available, and I have an aftermarket setup on mine, but a stock Road Glide in particular has more open bar than you need to be able to put your camera wherever you want. So like I said, I really advise one of these for street glide, and then if you have a Road Glide, you can use that claw and kind of put it wherever you want. For POV, I don't have it on my helmet right now, but I have the setup here. I recommend doing a helmet cam. I like the chin. The problem, it can get a little bit low, especially on this bike. There can be, if I don't have the angle set up right, it can get a lot of fairing. But you get a really nice view. The chest mount is certainly too low. The only time the chest mount really works is if you have an open fairing bike, Street Bob, Road King, doesn't have a windshield. Then you get a pretty nice low angle because the bike is not covering, it's still like less than 50% of the frame. That's kind of the goal that you want to get, is you want to have the bike be 50% or less of the frame. About 40% would be, 40 or 30 even, would be great, because people like having, it's nice to have the bike in there to give you some sense of scale and what's happening, but people want to see the surroundings. They want to see where you're riding. So the next thing, so the other thing I like to do here is mount, as you can see, to the highway bar. And again, if you don't, GoPro has discontinued the sessions, which is really too bad because I still have 2 of them. I'm actually probably going to buy another one. And then with the pivot mount, the GoPro, you can get the session out farther, which is great. And then you can easily switch it just literally while you're riding, twist it back and forward, to get some shot of the bike, people behind you, kind of a low angle, and then also front. It's just super easy to use. And with a regular GoPro, Hero 8, Hero 7, whatever, you have to mount it either up or down, and you lose some of the perspective. You're not out quite as far. So I would try and find one before they're completely gone. Like I said, I'm probably going to get another one. But mounting to the highway bar is a great alternate angle. The only thing that you kind of need to consider or try out is if you can reach it. Either, set it up to a remote control on your handlebar or, on your phone, although, operating your phone while you're riding, not a great idea. So having it within reach where you can just quickly kind of reach down, keep your eyes on the road, press the button. That's the best way to go about that. And then the alternate version of that, it's right here, is putting it on the rear highway bar. This gives you an awesome, especially going forward, it gives you an awesome shot, and you get it with the session, you get it out here. It gives you an awesome low angle shot that looks really cool because you get the bike, you get some of your leg, and you get the surroundings, which is awesome. So those are the 3, 4, if including the helmet mount spots that I like to mount using the GoPro claw and the long arm, and then the swivel mount from GoPro. So Ram mounts, the Ram claw, the Ram long arm, and the GoPro swivel mount. And you're gonna get a bunch of cool angles, and it'll vary it up. And the nice part is you can run 2 or 3 cameras simultaneously pretty easy. So if you have any questions, ask in the questions below and I'll answer them. And as always, hit subscribe and get out there and film some cool videos.